Amina and Halima, two lifelong friends who live in a small African village. Amina is kind and hardworking, while Halima is beautiful but jealous of her friend's stable family life. Amina's father, Baba Musa, is a respected elder in the village and deeply loves his family. Amina and Halima had been inseparable since childhood. Growing up in a small village, they did everything together, fetching water from the stream, cooking meals, and weaving baskets. Amina was known for her kindness and quiet strength, while Halima, with her striking beauty and lively personality, often captured attention wherever they went. Though different in many ways, they were like sisters. Amina trusted Halima with everything. But one day, Halima started changing. She began visiting Amina's house late at night, staying only briefly before sleeping out quietly. Amina didn't question it at first, thinking Halima might just be seeking comfort. Then the whispers began. At the market, women selling tomatoes would pause their chatter when Halima passed. Young boys sneaked behind her back, and even the elders exchanged glances when her name came up. Amina's younger brother, Musa Jr., was the first to say something. "Sister, I hear strange things about Halima," he said one evening as they sat by the fire. "What things?" Amina asked, surprised. "They say she comes here to see Baba, not you." Amina laughed it off. "Halima? With my father?" It was ridiculous. Baba Musa was a respected elder, a widower who devoted his life to his family and the community. Halima would never do such a thing, or so she thought. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Amina returned home early from the stream. She walked into her father's hut to find Halima inside. Halima was adjusting her bright red wrapper. Baba Musa sat on the mat, his head in his hands, looking like a man caught in his own shame. Amina froze. "Halima, Baba, what is this?" Neither of them answered. The silence was louder than any words. Amina's chest tightened as realization dawned on her. "You, Halima, how could you? Baba, you allowed this?" Halima mumbled. "It's not what you think, Amina." But Amina wasn't blind. She ran out of the hut, her heart pounding, tears streaming down her face. She couldn't believe the betrayal from her best friend and her father. That night, the village was restless. Word of the scandal spread quickly, as it always did. By dawn, the elders called for a meeting under the baobab tree. The entire village gathered. The air was thick with tension. The elders, dressed in traditional robes, sat on stools, their expressions stern. Baba Musa stood before them, looking smaller than Amina had ever seen him. Halima stood beside him, her head bowed. "Amina, tell us what you saw," one elder said. Amina's voice was steady, but her hands trembled. She recounted the scene in the hut, every word cutting into her like a knife. When she finished, there was a heavy silence. Baba Musa spoke next. He admitted everything, his voice trembling. Halima said nothing, refusing to meet Amina's eyes. The elders deliberated. Their verdict was swift and harsh. Halima was to leave the village immediately. "A friend who can betray her sister like this is a danger to us all," one elder declared. Baba Musa, though shamed, was allowed to stay. The elders believed his punishment would be living with the consequences of his actions. As Halima packed her belongings, Amina watched from the doorway of her hut. Halima looked up once, her eyes pleading for forgiveness, but Amina turned away. That night, under the light of the moon, Halima left the village. Her figure disappeared into the darkness, carrying the weight of her choices on her shoulders. Amina tried to rebuild her life. She avoided her father's gaze. The betrayal still fresh in her mind, though the village moved on. Whispers about the scandal lingered like shadows. Years later, when asked about Halima, Amina would only say, "She was my sister once. Then she broke the rules," and she would leave it at that.